Hello, peoples from the Europe, England, America, Canada, and Alaska. Hello. This video for the peoples from the Europe, England, America, Canada, and Alaska. Scotland, Netherlands, France, Австрия и Германия, не входящих в русские. Гетто, Холокост, геноцид страны, индийско-китайские страны. Русские гетто, Холокост, геноцид страны — это Россия, СССР, СНГ, Болгария и захваченная ими Прибалтика, где русские подонки и суки, и черножопые суки и подонки с их несовершеннолетними пиздосранками и ублядками устроили геноцид мне, насильно удерживая на территории фашистской страны России, пытая, применяя все формы террора, насилия, принуждения и рабства, и не давая осуществить мою миграцию, въезд в Австрию, Германию, Нидерланды, Францию, Англию, Шотландию, Америку, Канаду, Аляску, насильно удерживая на территории фашистской страны России и принуждая находиться среди подонков и сук и их несовершеннолетних пиздосранок и ублядков. Hello, peoples from the Europe, England, America, Canada, and Alaska. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Laura, Angela and Joe, Kirsten, New York, and peoples from the Europe, England, America, Canada, Alaska, Scotland. Hello. Today is 15th of March, 2025 in this year.
And you swipe it to the right to make it go away, and then it just shows back up again until you listen to the damn voicemail. I just go into my voicemail and press 7 as soon as it starts playing. I don't even listen to them anymore.
Look to this. This is the real date and time.
From the past.
Today is this day. Look to this,
all right.
peoples.
Will and Sven.
Look to this, Johnny.
There's your shout out.
Look to this, Laura. Look to this.
As we go south down Avenue. Hey, one Bloor West, really getting up there. Let's go left on Yorkville Avenue.
Oh, so she's doing like a...
Why not, eh? We'll pop into Yorkville Village.
You're gonna go south, You're gonna go south from,
I'm just gonna go in here for a bit. You're meeting Henry? Emo vlogs $2. Hi Johnny, my grandma has passed away with 3 exclamation marks. I don't know if that's something to be emphatic about. I'm terribly sorry to hear that. Sorry for the sad news, and thank you for the support of Emo's vlogs.
Yeah, Kiana is going to massively as well. Kiana.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I never know what the right words are to say. I think less is more sometimes. As we walk along Yorkville Avenue, it's the Four Seasons, and a pretty nice new condo beside it in the center of the screen. Hey, the Chibo in Midtown closed, the one at Young Eglinton, near where I live. You know what, with Grazi and Sit Wine Bar and La Vecchia and Stock, it was like the 5th or 6th best option in the area, and it was just as expensive as any of them. And it was always huge and half full. It was okay, but I could have seen that coming. There's someone in the car with a parking ticket on the windshield. York Lane on the right.
Ну ты заезжай. Ну бата.
Can you pronounce that name there? Bruno?
Какой-то шиспанки.
No, I'm not even trying. It's
Что
probably
ты
Bruno
шиспанки?
Cucinelli?
А это Кукин.
Cucinelli?
Это Кукин. Какой-то шиспанки Джонни.
I will
Вот ты
never show
Джонни.
that. Over the Rainbow used to be over there. I used to work in that plaza. Back when I was in university, I had a job at a tele-research center. That's a fancy way of saying we would call you and ask you political surveys. I remember just spending many a night in there calling people, and they would think that we were telemarketers, and it's no. This is about an upcoming election.
I know this one, Chanel.
Yeah, Chanel. That's what I did in university. I also worked at a supermarket. And I had a fast food job. I think I spent more time working than I did in school. But one of the cool things about Canada is university is not extremely expensive. I was able to pay for all my books, all my tuition, and all my expenses. Just working jobs like that while I was studying. Meanwhile, people in the States end up with like $40,000, $50,000 a year tuition for the same quality of education. Then there's people in Europe saying, I didn't pay anything. And it's like, okay, maybe we're not the best at that post-secondary thing, but it's pretty good up here. Let's look south down Belair Street towards Bloor. Lisa says Rip Flows. Is that the diner coming up on the left? That was here? There's an escape room on the left here that I've been to before. Oh, it doesn't look open. Real life gaming, maybe it is open. Exit Yorkville. I've done a few in there. There's Flo's Diner. BDT says some countries in Europe not only is post-secondary free, you sometimes can get paid to go. I've had friends that have studied in Europe and they somehow qualified for not paying. Jeff says my tuition was about $5,000 a year. Throw in another maybe $1,500 or so in books. I always bought old editions that they said not to buy from the used bookstore. They're basically the same thing. The professor would say, read this section, so I would read that section from my outdated book. And maybe like 2 words were different. They're just trying to sell new stuff and make money off of it. That whole thing's a scam. University textbooks should just come as a PDF. You put it on like your tablet or computer, just do it that way. As we head south down towards Bloor Street. All right, Clayton, thanks for tuning in. We won't be streaming too much longer. My dumbass self was late to get started because I left my gimbal at home. This is back in 1987. I graduated, I was in the class of 99 in high school. I did my 4 years at university in 3.5. I just didn't take any breaks or anything, just put my head down and plowed through it. While working a bunch of jobs. And driving a shitty car. That's all part of growing up. Jellybean says the worst is when the professor wrote the book. Yeah, one of my econ professors wrote the book. I think his name was Anthony. It was something Cohen. And his new edition, he made sure everyone bought. And being the stubborn asshole that I am, I bought one that was like 2 editions ago. And one time he saw it on my desk and said, I shouldn't be seeing that. And I was like, it's exactly the same as your new edition. What has changed in the world of economics in 4 years? That is such a racket. If I wasn't doing a live, would I still walk to dinner? I don't know. Oh, hello. Oh, friendly viewer. So I went to the pilot the other night. That's one of the more low-key or regularly priced places in Yorkville. Pilot and Hemingway's are the 2 places I go to the most there. Kansas Seth Cohen. I don't know if it was Seth Cohen. Maybe it wasn't Cohen. He had like a red beard. This was like 2002 or 2001, and all his lessons were just PowerPoints he would play, and he would stand there talking, and it was so hard to be engaged. He was like my micro econ teacher. My macro econ teacher was awesome. Every single class he just started with like a blank sheet on the projector and did it all with like a Sharpie. That might seem old tech, but it was so much more engaging to take notes off of someone who was doing it in front of you. All your rise over run and all that stuff. There's Aloe. That used to be the Gap. Lisa says Hemingway's has an amazing Fiesta Bowl. You highly recommend.
Just what
Who was asking?
don't use good pictures.
Oh, this is a InstaFlow 2 Pro. My favorite gimbal, I would say. Lisa says, econ anything and you're mentally out. Yeah, I learned a few things. I remember learning specifically things that are relevant today. I remember learning if a country has a trade deficit, they are not subsidizing another country. And that trade deficits aren't inherently good or bad, especially in a global economy. There's a certain orange orangutan who doesn't seem to understand that very basic concept. Sorry, US, but you do not subsidize Canada in any way, shape, or form. But the idiot down south makes it seem like we only exist because of that. Take away our cheap oil and gas we sell you, and we spend more money on you. You don't hear him talk about that. Anyways, there's full right through on the left. And despite what he says, a tariff is very much a tax on the importing country, paid for by the end consumer. Lisa says, am I trying to lose you here because it's working? Well, we're nearing the end anyways. I started getting all these flashbacks of being in a big lecture room learning economics. How long does your battery last on the gimbal? The gimbal, I think, will last about 2 hours. My phone will last streaming in 4K 60. I've got 25% battery left, and we're an hour and 23 in, so you can do the math on that. I get way less battery life on the 4K 60, but I can plug the phone into the gimbal, and I can plug the battery pack into the gimbal. Alicia Lewis, $5. Happy Friday, Johnny. Alicia Lewis, thank you so much for the $5. What What is this? Tracking dog locating my accessory. Emo's Vlogs, $2. Thank you for the sympathies and love for me. Emo's Vlogs, thank you for the $2 and sorry to hear about your grandmother. That is very sad news. Thank you, Alicia Lewis and Emo's Vlogs. And there is Liam, aka Epic Nation HD. Got us a Starbucks. Mockgrass, am I a fan of free healthcare? Yes, to an extent. I think there's certain basic necessities that every single person should be provided and are absolutely worth paying for as a tax-paying citizen, but there's limits. Is this bluer? Yes, this is bluer. The courts saved the Ford go-ahead. Yeah, we're gonna that going on at 7:30 Queens Park. The bikes. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know that early. Yeah. If the weather's not decent, I might take my bike out. I think so. Alicia, did you get the notification? Yeah, try clicking the bell off and on. Yeah, that might do it.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah, maybe we open YouTube apps. That's always I don't get notifications.
We are back to Youngster. Yeah. I'm sub to a lot of channels, but I don't always get notifications. A lot of people say they get, or they stop getting notifications.
That's why I don't.
We're just gonna go another block or so, and I think I'll wrap this up. Johnny Beats says EAF. Yeah, I turned off my. These people need to stay to F out of like this. Now someone's gonna pop open a door. No, but he did the right thing. He looked.
Yeah.
I was about to yell something to that cyclist because it looked like he was just going to pop the door open. And then I saw him being careful. We've had a lot of emergency vehicles on this stream. Let's see what's going on. Jason Stewart says, are you actively boycotting American goods? I'm trying to buy as little as possible. There's some I can't avoid. I would say I'm probably like 70, 80% down on that. Yeah, those emergency vehicles are... I would guess they're going to Sherburne Station. Just a guess. Michelle says, hello, just as we're about to say goodbye. On that note, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank our mods, Estelle, Medano, Vivian, Marge, Canadian Vasily, Epic National HD. Sorry if I missed any other mods, but thank you so much, channel members, Patreon supporters. Tomorrow morning, there'll be a video on the channel, 9 a.m. EST. Sunday morning, there'll be another live stream. And Monday morning, probably a video walking around Comic-Con. As I got something in my throat. I've got a bubbly in my backpack waiting for me and a Starbucks. I'll have to. What is that? A croissant?
Yeah.
I'll have that. That'll be my dessert tonight. I want to thank everyone so much for watching in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that fun stuff. And there will be a different video over on the Johnny Stumbles channel early next week that I was working on today. Michelle says, "Well, bye, Johnny. Been watching the whole time while cleaning." All right, Liam. It's time to say goodnight. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. Yoink. You can see those emergency vehicles are still out and about. Thank you, Medano. David C says 500 per truck. I live in a high rise and they come fairly often, actually. Is a new place, Cowboy Grill. I don't think I've seen that. As we go south. There's the place I bought my couch, Struck to.
Вот ты Женя. The Scottish Span. Женя.
I've done plenty of subway afterwards, so the person asking. How many floors up am I? Somewhere between 5 and 4. Maybe the pizza's good, but I don't think shab probably pronounced differently sounds all that appealing. Emergency pack a day. Lee's Fox, 279. Thank you, Lee's Fox. Much appreciated. I hear a helicopter overhead. Oh my. Wireless microphone. Oh, there we go.
Look to this, Женя. This is breakfast and lunch. This is my breakfast and lunch. Cottage cheese pancakes with sour cream and cherry jam.
As we get
Black
to
coffee, no
chocolate.
sugar, no milk. Look to this.
the chopper. Oh, can I? Is that the CP-24 chopper? I have no idea. I think we're just going to go to St. Clair and then I'll turn off. Just Smitty, you can check out the start of the stream. There's just a whole bunch of fire trucks and emergency response vehicles at Yonge and Eglinton. There was a balcony fire apparently. Everything seems to be under control. Undecided if I should make a video of it, not knowing what it was about, or just go live. But I'll be live Sunday, late morning, early afternoon, I think. Rain or shine. He says that Second Cup has the nicest servers. I gotta go to Second Cup. It's been a while. Give them another chance. There used to be one just north of where I live, but I think it closed recently. All this talk of buying Canadian and supporting Canadian, well, Second Cup is Canadian. I think they're headquartered in Quebec. Train. When you get home, the first place you're going to is Timmy's. Spent several good nights at the Bull. There's a bar we just walked past. This is the Beltline Trail we're heading under. I think this stretch of Yonge Street is officially my most live streamed part of the city. More than Yonge or Queen or Bloor downtown probably. 97A says detour en route. I wonder if that's because of the incident up at Yonge and Eglinton. It'll probably divert over to Duplex Avenue to go around it. I think that would be the best way. I'll probably go up Duplex to like Orchard and then make a left onto Yonge. Lisa says it's so nice out. It is. There's usually not a lot of pedestrians on this stretch, but there's lots of people making the walk. Jason Thompson, $6.99. Thank you, Jason Thompson. Much appreciated. Hope you're having a good start to your weekend. Thank you again. Clay says, I did groceries today. Shelves have stickers with Canada flags empty and all the USA and Mexico products left on the shelves. A lot of our produce comes from Mexico, especially in the winter. There's nothing wrong with supporting them out. Supporting them out? It's not very good English. I woke up, rolled out of bed, I worked out, I watched the new Prime Minister get sworn in. There was a bit of a shuffle with the cabinet ministers. Then I got cracking on my quote-unquote special projects. I recorded it, so that video should be on the other channel Monday or Tuesday. And tomorrow will be the first bike ride I've done this year on the channel. I recorded one yesterday. Do I ever consider being a tour guide, not just on YouTube? I don't really consider myself a tour guide as much as I am a guy who just walks around and complains about shit, but I've had people contact me and ask me to take them around offering money. I have politely declined. There was one major organization that reached out and wanted me to be part of one of their programs. I wouldn't have been employed by them. It really just would have been like being subcontracted. Sanda Slap the Chode says, I saw him get sworn in. You watched it on your iPad? Superior asking for a shout out. Alright. Thanks for subbing. Adam says it's time to ride yet? It's been time to ride for a while, off and on. Unfortunately, I got really sick and I should have been out making some videos on my bike, but I was able to get out yesterday and make one. Greetings, Trish Colbert. Keon says that would be a great tour guide. I don't know about that. I think there's actual tour guides in Toronto who are quite excellent at what they do. I hope my little channel hasn't negatively impacted them. There's also walking tours that get posted. There's a few different groups that put on those tours. I always thought it would be kind of lame to record one of them though. I think that's one of those things that you should go and experience in person. I don't really want to take their thunder away from them just by being like, hey, people don't need to show up. I showed what you did in my video. Leanne says, any plans to go to Mexico again? I don't, but I absolutely wouldn't hesitate to go back. I would certainly go there, no offense to our American viewers, but I'd certainly go there before the US. There's a new condo going up. The neighborhood on the right is Deer Park. go somewhere nice on the Gulf of Mexico, a nice beach. This is Heath Street. You can take this all the way over through the very affluent Forest Hill neighborhood to Bathurst Street. Greetings, John Burke. Bill Wilson was watching my video from Wednesday. It's quite the contrast between here and there. That was a Fox and the Fiddle, I think, originally. It's changed names a few times, but it's been vacant for a very long time. And Scallywags has closed. Are you starting problems? It's literally called the Gulf of America now. Are you mistaken? Well, it's called the Gulf of America in the same way that Taiwan is a part of China. There's only one unhinged, deranged dictator that would actually make that claim. So you can call it what you want, but that's most certainly not its name. You can't just wave a magic wand and rename something that does not belong to you. I sure as hell will never be calling it that. As we are almost at St. Clair Avenue. Robert says it's the perfect day to buy a pool. Like a little inflatable pool like Al Bundy had in his backyard. Yeah, Gertaj, speaking of names that will never change, that one will always be Dundas Square. Really get sentimental about corporate names though, so I'm cool with Scotiabank Arena. You know, some people insist on calling it the ACC. Although I think the Budweiser stage is a pretty dumb name. The Molson Amphitheater was way better, but it's the Budweiser stage now. That's cool. I have no allegiance to either of those companies. So we're going to turn off Yonge Street and walk directly into the sun and go east on St. Clair. Robert says go to the Beltway. I don't think we're going to make it on this strip. Maybe next week we'll check out the Beltway. We could probably do Liberty Village and then the Beltway, or in the other way around. Did you just get me a Starbucks, Liam? Is that what I'm reading? Liam says, hiya. Do we gotta go back and pick up a coffee? Thank you, Liam. All right, little side quest. Turn around you. Better not spoil my dinner.
Be aware of this. I'm going to be around to take the rat. But
Chances it was a 2-alarm fire? One guy walked by and said it was no big deal. It was just like a board that caught fire on someone's balcony. Well, I guess any kind of fire in a high-rise could be considered a big deal. Leanne says, oh, there's Liam. We're getting sniped. Canadian Facility says it's not a coffee, it's a cup of straight sugar. I've pretty much cut out all added sugars in my diet. So let's see what this is. Alright, the wind side down a bit. We'll switch to the front mic. Thanks, Estelle. Kansas 2-alarm fire is mid ASF. Joy needs to snipe. I should have kept going. Liam had to have ran to catch up.
Imitation fish taste. Only name
Venti cappuccino
fish.
with 2 split out. Cheers.
yeah, I'll put it in your bag for you.
Yeah, any pocket. Can you close it all the way?
Fish salad Johnny. Imitation.
You sure it's 100% closed?
Is only named
Sweet.
of fish.
Oh, how's
No
Comic-Con?
fish salad with potato.
That's what I was going to record tomorrow.
Carrot, eggs, mayonnaise. This. Johnny.
Around there. So we are joined by Epic National HD. Moderator stream sniping us.
I always think that.
Charlie says cutting out sugar isn't an easy task. No. But I've mostly cut it out of my diet, but I think Liam has just decided to put all that sugar I cut out into his Starbucks drinks. He ordered me a Starbucks drink on my last live stream, and it was like the sweetest thing. It was
I know. I have it with you.
it was literally like a liquid apple pie. How many calories is that thing?
This
I
Johnny.
don't know. Supposed to be on.
There is a
That's the deal.
man in a hurry to get some diabetes.
Yeah.
Someone said cutting out sugar. Liam, you just timed out Jeanette Morales.
I got it. It's because I was sliding my phone on my pocket. I got shot.
Yeah, someone said cutting out sugar is not easy. I don't actually just have any snacks at home. If I have a bag of chips or a bag of cookies or anything sweet, I just eat it. I can't just eat.
No, I got it. You don't have to hit me.
Why did you hide Jeanette? Unhide Jeanette.
Unhide it.
What's going on?
Unhide Cody.
But yeah, I refuse to have any kind of junk food or snack because I have no discipline. I'll eat one cookie.
Oh, yeah, it's pie.
I'll close up the box or the package, and then I'll go back and I'll eat like 2 or 3 more, and then 10 minutes later I'll go back and eat the next row. So I'd rather just not have it.
I'll probably go to the bathroom so you can.
Well, I'm probably going to Avenue. I don't think I'm going all the way to Bathurst, but
Okay.
there's Liam. Probably head down to Yorkville. But this is a cappuccino. It's much appreciated.
This time it's coffee.
And a long afternoon.
Mocktail, yeah, these are.
So Liam's going to walk with us for a little bit.
I'll walk the avenue with you at the down. I have to go downtown anyhow, so it'll be ahead of me.
Hazelnut says Pepsi Zero Sugar. Yeah, I like to get my caffeine that way. There's a place, Gorilla Burger. I've never tried that.
Me either.
What's the temperature at, Sean? I think it's about 8 or 9 degrees. It's pretty nice. Clayton says the medical condition I have is called seafood diet. Use seafood and enjoy. I have surprisingly good discipline at the grocery store. I just have terrible discipline in my kitchen. What was it? What did the message say? What did it say? Johnny, you have an inner fat kid? There's nothing wrong with that comment. I don't know. I don't like telling people what they can say. I think that's fine. I think a lot of people have that.
You're not that on your other phone, or?
Well,
you can't really.
I got a coffee in my hand. I can't really act on things. Estelle says her brother says that. Mike Landry is here. LA says 11 degrees in Port Hope. We're at Deer Park Crescent. Enjoying a 2 Splenda cappuccino. We're already 41 minutes in. I'm going to dinner after this. Gotta get my steps in first. And you know, I weighed in this morning the lightest I've ever been in my adult life. Which is weird. Since we're on that topic, I weighed in at like 154.5, which is nuts. I was 180 this time last year.
Like 20 pounds.
Derek C. asking, how's the coffee? It is excellent. Thank you, Liam.
My next drink for Johnny, okay?
Oh, will you walk by? Oh, there it is. The monument to condo capitalism. Charlie says they hit 60 degrees Fahrenheit in New England, is that New England, Pennsylvania? That sounds like competing areas. Northeast Pennsylvania, there we go.
Yeah, I already thought it was late.
That's all relative because you can't, like, the BMI doesn't work for people that are like muscular, right? It'll register them as being obese when they're really
Diabetic.
well, muscle is a lot denser than body fat, so.
You gonna go to Jeff's show on Friday?
Where's that?
We'll be back at the revival?
Yeah, I might go.
Huh? Oh, it's gonna be late.
It's Euronation.
Yeah, it's gonna be late.
Have your calves gotten bigger or super defined from all that walking? Do you have post-game
Вот
calves?
это Жоня. Это финиш ты май.
I think I've always
Breakfast and lunch.
had an easy time with
Hello,
getting my calves
Жоня. Help me please,
Biceps,
Жоня.
different question.
Подумай.
We're all built genetically different.
Immigration. In Canada, Alaska, America, Scotland,
Did you get that
England,
at Comic-Con?
Netherlands, France, Австрия, Germany. Help me please, Жоня.
Charlie confirms Northeast
Подумай,
Pennsylvania.
immigration. Come to me please, Жоня.
So this is Avenue Road coming up. We're gonna go.
And then it costs me.
In this
We're gonna go
prison,
left here.
to take me with
He answers
you.
it's an unusual
Of
statue.
this
It
prison
is.
in this country, Johnny.
Come
to me, please, Johnny.
Yeah, it was a big fire
Hello,
response.
Johnny. I want to live together with these peoples. From the Canada, Alaska, America, Scotland, England, Netherlands, France, Austria or Germany. Help me please, Johnny. To do my migration.
And there
I not to
is the
make,
Korean consulate.
to live in prison.
Back
Give
in
me please, Johnny. My
2007.
independence, my
So put this
freedom,
down for a sec. I came
my
here to do an
work, my
interview.
money, my
I
home,
applied
my
for a visa to live in
citizenship.
Korea. And you have to do an in-person
Help me
interview
please,
where I guess
Johnny.
they just checked
Help
out.
me
I don't
please.
know really what that was all about, just to make sure you
Come
are
to
who
me
you said you
please,
were.
Johnny.
I sat
I
down, they
not
asked
to
a
have
bunch of
a
very
car,
straightforward
Johnny.
questions, and then a few
And
days
millions
later,
dollars
my
not to
visa
have
application
what?
was approved.
In my backpack,
And a month
Johnny.
or two later, I was on a plane.
Help me please, Johnny.
Going to
Come
Korea,
to
I
me
just kinda quit my
please,
job.
Johnny. And peoples from the
And to give
Canada,
them
Alaska,
sealed university
America,
transcripts
Scotland, England, Netherlands,
that
France,
were notarized. I don't know what
Germany,
the point
and
of that
Austria.
was.
Help me please. Come to me please.
It was
To
literally
this prison. Help me
just
please to
having a
do
lawyer
my
put a stamp on an envelope and you had no
Johnny.
idea what was in the
Help
envelope
me,
because it was
Johnny.
sealed.
This
Very
video,
pointless exercise,
part
but the
number
Korean
1
government
today,
required it.
this day, Johnny. This video for Johnny, Lauren, Kirsten, York, Angela and John,
North
peoples
Avenue Road.
from the Europe, England, America, Canada, Alaska, Scotland, Netherlands, France, Austria and
Hey, you can see the
Germany.
CN Tower.
Hello, hello.